Hey guys, I want to talk to you a little bit today about the tail end of a situation or a relationship or anything you might have been going through as you've walked the path of a romantic endeavor with another person on this earth. I don't know why. From time to time, I'll often think back to my past and I'll just contemplate and appreciate the people that I've come through my life previously. And obviously, every single one of them that's come through up to now, it hasn't panned out. It hasn't worked out, obviously. And this it is what it is. I think it's all for the better at the end of it all. And this isn't like I'm not like hanging up and pining over lost love or anything like that. But I oftentimes think and analyze about the lessons that I've learned in life and just the development of my character as I've moved along and just the way that I've handled myself. And one thing stuck out in my mind today that I wanted to talk with you guys about because maybe you're going through something like this right now. Maybe you're going to go through something like this in your future. Inevitably, I'm sure all of us, men and women, are both going to deal with something like this at some point in time. But the way that you handle this, I think it evolves certainly as you go through life and as your sense of self worth and as you get to know yourself better and better, you'll just start to operate in a different fashion. And what I'm describing here, guys, is the very simple situation where if you've been dating somebody for a period of time, like this was my last situation. There was a girl that I dated for about 6 months. And things were fun, things were good. She was a wonderful person, and it didn't work out in the end. And the justification I got on the back end of the situation was that she was just still dealing with all just this shit from her ex boyfriend. She'd been with this guy for 5 years or something like that. And it's just it was what it was. I mean, and that's fine. If somebody's still dealing with something like that, they're not ready to emotionally plug into somebody else. I mean, that stuff's going to happen. That's not going to change. But what I'm getting down here and the point of the talk today, guys, is like when you get to that very last end and somebody is like basically giving you this, like, hey, I don't think we should see each other anymore. Okay, or I've got to stop doing this right now. There has been a change of mindset and a change of behavior that I've gone through in my life. When I was younger, early on, when I would when I would encounter a crossroads like that in a situation, in a romantic endeavor, um, I used to jump right away after receiving a message like that, if I really cared about the person, into kind of like negotiation mode, right? Like, are you really sure about this? Like, can we talk about this? Is there anything that can be done? Like, is there, like, can we work on this? Can we do all this kind of stuff? And that, that right there, okay, it's, it's just what I've come to learn is it's not the way that I think anybody should conduct their lives. I don't think it's the way that you should conduct your life. I don't think that you should beg anybody to stay in your life. There should be no negotiation about it, okay? Your presence in somebody else's life is a gift. It's a valuable thing. And if somebody doesn't want that presence anymore, then where I'm at now and where I think every single one of you guys and girls needs to get to at some point is like there's zero negotiation coming out of a moment like that, right? In that last instance, I was very proud of my way, the way or excuse me, proud of myself the way that I handled it. And this was different, like I said, than if you were to talk to five five year ago, Mike. I would have done that sort of like, hey, let's work this out. Let's do all this, let's try to salvage the situation here. But this time around, okay, none of that, zero of that happened. Okay, all of the only way that I responded to this was like just understanding and thanks for sharing your feelings. And I appreciate that and I respect that. But like basically, see you later. Good luck out there in life. Go forward, move on. You know, do what you got to do. Pretty much, you're not getting an ounce of negotiation out of me. I'm not where I'm at right now, guys. Like I'm not here to try to convince anybody to stay in my life. I'm not here to try to sell somebody else my presence. They either see it or they don't. They either want it or they don't. There is like a zero effort. I don't have a damn second any longer in my life to try to convince somebody to stick around that says they don't want to be there. Okay. There is a billion, several billion other people walking the face of this earth that would just love to have a chunk of my time and love to have a piece of my presence and love to be around me. That it's like, I don't have a damn second any longer to try to convince anybody else to stick around. Like I said, that's a mindset thing. That's a deeply rooted thing that I hope every single one of you guys and girls out there learns to to think on those terms, learns to really act in that way, and learns to conduct yourself in such a fashion. I think it's such an important thing. I hope you can see the illustration of the point here is that this is not about some like arrogance trip or about, just I don't know, like being mean or being like not a good partner and not somebody that's showing somebody else they really care about them in the sense that like they're trying to get them to stay kind of thing. But it's just it boils down to you and your insides, the way you feel about yourself, the way you carry yourself, and certainly a person that feels like they've got a gajillion and one other options, that feels good about themselves, it feels good about who they are and what they've got to offer. They're going to act in the exact same way that I'm describing here. They're going to walk. They're not going to spend any time trying to convince anybody of anything. And it's like, hey, if that day comes and you don't want to do this anymore, like, then bye. Like, see you later. Like, good on you. Like, go out, go back into the world and find whatever it is that, you're looking for, or you need more time to deal and cope and whatever. And, I hope you guys see the point that I'm trying to make here. And just a little funny, strange follow up, like in the aftermath of that, is that, like, this same girl, people do this all the time, right? They do this shit all the time, right? This happened like earlier in the summer, and then like later this year, I get a message out of nowhere that she's like wanting to rekindle things. And I'm like, same thing at this point in life. I'm like, nope, like, I will never trust you again. Like, you were unsure about this earlier on when we interacted, and I'm just not interested in entertaining like anything further with you, because you've already shown your true colors. You've already shown the way that like you would treat me, like you're capable of leaving again. So it's like I don't have the time. Okay, I don't have the time to do that anymore. All right, guys. I hope that all makes sense to you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Talk to you all soon.